What is going on, guys? Back with another video. So we didn't get the news we were all praying for. We were all hoping for the magical rate cut to happen today, guys, even though it was pretty obvious it wasn't going to come. And again, this clown has managed to dump the market again. Every single meeting, he repeats the same rubbish again and again, and he just manages to crash the markets. So there's so much importance put on him. Whatever he says has huge impacts in the market, guys. So, in terms of other news, obviously there was a bit of confusion. Trump came out and basically said that he heard that Powell will cut interest rates in September, and then Powell came out and said that he has made no decisions about September. So it just seems to be a beef between them, that they want to, Powell wants to do everything opposite to what everyone wants and what Trump has been saying. And you can see as a result, we had massive liquidations across the markets. And that is another reason, guys, which I never ever recommend doing, futures trading with leverage, guys, because ultimately majority of people are going to get wrecked. And that is why patience comes into play. A lot of the time this comes from people who want to make quick money, and they forget the long-term vision in place. So if you watch this channel, guys, you know that there's nothing wrong with trading. You can trade, for example, meme coins. But with a lot of these players that I show you, these are for holding. Again, not holding for 100 years. These are for holding until we get the right market conditions to be able to sell in massive profits, guys. And the good news is the projects I'm going to show you today, we're going to look at a sector which is currently very cheap and undervalued, and that is AI, right? Currently very quiet. There isn't too much hype around this, guys, and you can be very confident that this hype is going to come back into this sector, and it's going to be huge. It's going to be bigger. Every time we have these AI pumps, they are bigger than the previous time. And the thing is, a lot of these projects are developing, and today we're going to cover 6 low slash micro cap projects within the AI sector, which can have up to potentially 100x potential, guys. Now, when I say 100x potential, guys, I am not telling you to wait for 100x. I am telling you that there is the potential if all the conditions are met, but you need to make sure that you take profits along the way, guys. For example, if you hold a coin and it goes up 5, 10x in a week or 2 weeks, you should take a decent amount of profit out, right? Always do that, because almost certainly once you have a massive surge like that, you will always have pullbacks. All right, the good thing is with most of these projects, they haven't done a 5, 10x, and they are still very early. The first one is oort. You're probably sick and tired of me talking about that, guys, and I do understand. It is one that really requires patience. So if you still hold this, that means that you have a lot of patience, which is good, because I do strongly believe over the next months, the next few months, you're going to be rewarded for holding this project, guys, because one of the main drawbacks of this project has been in relation to getting people aware of this project, because nobody seems to be aware of this project. There are very few people who are aware of this project. And when you go onto YouTube, there's hardly anyone speaking about this, right? There's a few YouTubers, but they did put out this letter here, which is basically reassuring the community that they have listened to all the feedback, especially when it comes to marketing. And I do think that they're going to really push on this as well. I do believe they've got Crypto G. I think he's helping the team out in regards to marketing. So again, that is good news. That is really good to hear, because I'm sure he's got a good network of different KOLs, influencers, who he can potentially get this oort on their watch list, potentially, to even speak about the project. But the reason, guys, I like this project, the reason I've got confidence in this project, is because they are generating a good amount of revenue. They've got working products in place. They're across different narratives, deep in AI agents, layer one storage. So they are generating a lot of money, right? And all they need to do is use that money in an effective manner in terms of marketing, because everything else is solid with this, right? 300,000 plus data contributors, 130 regions worldwide. The nodes are increasing at a very, very good pace. They've got huge partnerships. They've had huge collabs, and they've worked with huge brands, the likes of Lenovo, Dell, Seagate, and also the official storage provider for BNB. So as I've said, guys, for this to be $17 million in market cap is insane. This is, I would say, the most undervalued AI project currently. So for me, I was loading up more on this dip. Every time this dips, I do load up more, even though, guys, it is a low cap and you could consider this high risk. I've got confidence in this long term, and they continue to update, they continue to push out developments, and ultimately, long term, I believe the price will catch up with this and it will explode. So for me, this is the first one. I would say this is a very good point to get entry, but only if you have patience, guys. So that would be the first one. The second one on the list, guys, is another one which is seeing quite a lot of fear right now. AI tech, $60 million in market cap, guys. And again, guys, you want to buy on the dips, right? Too many people buy when it pumps. You know, when it was over 100 million, people were FOMOing into it because they were saying it's going to go to a billion now. You need to buy on the dips, right? And I bought quite a big position in this dip around April, you know, when this was around 30 million market cap, because I saw a good potential for this project, guys. Because one of the strengths with AI tech is when it comes to marketing, they already have that covered. They have some of the best marketing probably in all of crypto, right? For a low cap, this is very strong in terms of marketing and also when it comes to the products they offer. And that is another point as well, guys. With their data center, they also secured a 3-year contract, a computing deal, which will basically guarantee that their servers will be fully utilized, which will basically eliminate any idle time and will help them generating consistent revenue. So again, revenue again, guys, gives you confidence when you know that a project is going to generate revenue. It can give you confidence to know that they aren't going to have to just sell off the tokens and just dump the price. So again, guys, I like AI tech. I think it is another project which is going to perform extremely well. Very strong in terms of marketing. You know, they've continued to develop, and it is also on 3 of the best chains. It's on Solana now, it's on BNB, and it's also on Base. Very good trading volume, and you know, I'm pretty confident this is going to get some tier ones in the future. So that would be the second one. Very, you know, it's a good price to get into there. Obviously, guys, you're not going to get it at the bottom, but you know, I do think it has very good upside. The third one, which is a bit more of a riskier play, isn't as hyped as the other players. Viot, this one is 12 million. This is a bit of an older project, and you know, I did make some huge gains in this, I think towards the end of 2022, start of 23. And then we saw this surge all the way up to over 100 million in market cap. Now it is 12 million. And the reason I think this could have potential, guys, is because it is one of the main projects within the legal sector. And they've also got, they're regulated in the EU, and they've also developed this sort of dispute resolution software system in place as well. And this is one which is actually getting a bit of adoption. I think they've actually got some they generate revenue from some of this, and they do have some clients on board. And what this does is, guys, is it basically uses AI agents to help resolve different legal matters using AI. So it's a very unique concept. And what they've also done as well, they've also integrated the Viot token into this as well. So I do think this is a unique narrative which could have a massive use case, because you know, legal costs when it comes to, you know, law, etc., legal solicitors, it's very expensive. And something like this, you know, it's not the most exciting of narratives, but it is something which I do think can have potential, guys. So, you know, in terms of use case, isn't as exciting, but it is one which could potentially have a comeback. 12 million market cap, it is very small in market cap. It is an older project, but it is one which I do think could have some potential from here, guys. So, one to keep on your watch list. Not as exciting as the other ones, but it is one that I do think could be a good play. The fourth one, which is another one which is struggling quite a bit, it's having a bit of fear, and again, it is because of the lack of updates from the team. TARS AI, this is currently 36.8 million in market cap, and from all-time high, guys, I think you're talking about a 7x. They are struggling a bit. And the reason for this, guys, is because the team aren't as active as they have been in the past. The last update was over a week ago, and it was pretty much, you know, the past few updates have been them attending different summits. This was the Google Cloud Summit, and people want to see more updates, right? So this is one which I do think comes with more risk, guys. You know, this is one, for example, I do hold, but for example, oort and AI tech, I hold those two projects with a lot of conviction. I'm not worried that they're going to rug. This is one that is a bit more risky, or a lot more risky in my opinion, right? Because obviously, the bullish point for this, guys, is that it is obviously backed by the Solana Foundation. And, you know, I do think with the TGPT and Solana, they will have basically be integrated into the Solana mobile. So that's going to be really bullish. And, you know, that is some of the points which do still give me confidence in this project. Obviously, the first AI assistant for Solana mobile. So it does have potential. I just think the team need to really be more active, right? Because as you can see, people are obviously not happy with what's going on. But yeah, you know, this is one of the projects that can pump out of anywhere, but normally this responds pretty good to when we see an AI move. But currently it is pretty quiet, and it isn't too far away from, you know, the all-time lows either. So if you want to have a risky play which can move upwards very quickly, could be a good play, guys, but it does come with more risk in my opinion. The next one, guys, which is another extremely underrated gem is Sensei. This is an AI agent project, $11 million in market cap. And this is one which I can see performing extremely well as well. Now, the other thing, again, one of the main checks that I do they have sort of a good potential for getting revenue, and they do have these different sort of pricing models in place for different companies, businesses who want to basically use AI agents for their business. And you can see here they have all these various different pricing strategies in place. And something else which is really interesting, guys, is what they're doing with this Sensei Island. So I was having a bit of a deep look into this, guys, and this is really interesting, right? Essentially, it's an island that they've acquired, I believe, and it's going to aiming to be the first AI governed nation. So I also believe they're actually taking applicants for people to actually live on this island. I think it's located somewhere near the Philippines. And it's very interesting, right? It's a really unique concept, and it's also got some media coverage as well. So again, it's a good way to market, and it is something which could really be big if they get this right. So you can see here, this is the milestone timeline, foundational milestone, purchase of the island, and they've basically got the charter in place, which is going to be based on different figures in history of different political leaders. So it's interesting, very interesting concept, and I've not seen something like this before. But apart from that, in terms of their main project, it is very strong, and the AI agent narrative is going to be a narrative which is going to perform really well. So this is one of the best AI agent projects I think you can get into. The other good thing with this as well, guys, they are very strong when it comes to marketing, and you can also see an increase in the amount of users, in the amount of the interactions with the chatbot, and also how they're getting featured in a lot of different media articles as well. So another very strong project, which I do think has a lot of upside from here. So very interesting. You can see the holders is increasing at a very good pace. It has solid torque utility as well. And, you're getting it not too far away from all-time low. I was buying this, I was buying this pretty heavy on the dip that we saw around here, around a few months ago, because I saw a very good opportunity for this, and it came down massively. So Sensei, another good pick in my opinion. And the final one on the list, guys, is Chirply. This one is a micro cap / nano cap, $1.7 million in market cap, guys. And this is a project which could potentially have up to 100x potential, guys, because when it comes to the narrative for this, guys, in terms of the influencer marketplace, especially for nano and micro influencers, this has a lot of potential. And the other thing with this as well, guys, they have a lot of partnerships. They also know how to market well as well. They're having a lot of updates. They've got good engagement, a good community as well. And I just think this is a good high risk option which could really move when the right market conditions are here, especially when the AI narrative comes back. So you're getting this again pretty close to the bottom. It hasn't really moved, and this did massive returns to in the middle sort of start of 2024, went all the way up to 18 million in market cap. So another one which could move very aggressively, over a 10x back to all-time high, and it could go even higher. So yeah, guys, those are some AI projects which I think are definitely worth a look. Majority of these haven't moved significantly yet, and you need to position yourself in this narrative, because this narrative moves very quick, and you could be too late to accumulate. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Also, quick update for the VIP group. Everyone who's emailed, if you were in the first 10, you will be locked in for this price, $25. And, I will be increasing this when this goes live, guys. Just making finishing touches to this as well, guys. And this should be up and running over the next few weeks. So anyway, guys, I'll catch you soon for the next video.